Hello, my name is Lenny Criddle with LJ Consulting Company, and today I will be teaching you how to create your own executive summary for your business plan. I created a handy checklist that you can download from the links here or from our site, and it should help you kind of follow along or just remind you when you go to do this yourself. To begin your executive summary, let's talk about the very first step. And that will simply be an overview, a mission statement, some little top level idea of who you are and what you're doing. It could be as simple as a couple sentences about who you are as a company, what your goals are, what your values are, anything that's a lead in that can go right at the top of the sheet or at the first slide deck so that anyone that reads this knows essentially what your brand is and what you stand for. The next step in working on your executive summary is the problem statement. You want to identify what the problem is in the market and how you're going to address that problem. You want to be pretty specific here. So for our examples today, we're going to use a made-up company called Fish Shoes. And this is a tennis shoe company specifically for fishermen. So if you are creating this company, you want to identify that in the marketplace, there are no tennis shoes specifically for fishermen. There may be tennis shoes, for things that are similar that could be used, but nothing specific. And that's where your problem statement starts. Now, it's going to be a high level. So in your full business plan, this may be the introduction paragraph. You don't want to put a lot here. You just want to make sure that anyone that's reading this can understand what the problem is and why there's a gap in the marketplace. Your next step will be your solution. So every issue that you pull into the problem statement, you'll address in the solution. So be pretty thorough. But again, this is high level, so don't go too far into it. Obviously, after your problem statement, you're going to give your solution. This could be the name of your product or the service that you provide, however you want to label this. Your solution is how you address the problem in the marketplace. For fish shoes, we are shoes that are specifically for fishermen. We have these abilities that no other shoes have, and perhaps certain treading or certain waterproofing, I don't know. But whatever your solution is and how you specifically address the issues in the market is where you want to put in your solution area. Again, it doesn't need to be too much. You're going to go further in that in your business plan or your full presentation, or perhaps this is part of your pitch deck and you'll be able to talk about it and show examples. But in the solution area, you want to say who you are as a business, as a service, or as a product, and how you address the issues in the market. The next thing I advise on and usually like to see in a business plan is an idea of who the competition is in the market. There is always competition. I've had so many clients that like to identify themselves as the only person that does what they do. And while it may be nice to think so, that's not exactly true. And perhaps another way to think of this is if someone doesn't buy from you, who would they buy from? If they don't get what exactly you serve, there's someone else that they will buy from. That's your competition. Now, if it's someone that does the exact same thing as you or something really close, those are obvious competitions, but there's always competition out there. If you understand your competition and you can list just the top 5 of your competition, maybe their yearly sales or whatever data you may be able to glean from them, even how many followers they have on Facebook. That's a good indicator that you understand your competition, and it places you within a market, and it lets anyone reading your business plan know that you understand your market and you understand who your competition is. Speaking of market, the next thing you want to do is include your market. You want to show either in a graphic or with some numbers how big the market is. For fish shoes, you may look and say how many fishermen there are in a certain region of the country or in the whole country in general. How many people shop for shoes every year? How many people are looking for different kind of fishing gear? There's different ways to dissect your market, but an overall look at the market is a very helpful indicator in your executive summary to show you have an understanding of how big the market is. That lets anyone figure out if you have a market that has 80 million people in it, there's a lot of opportunity for you there. It doesn't mean if you have a small market that that's not good too. As long as you understand your market, it helps everyone that's reading this or even yourself know how big your market is, who's in the market, and what you can do to address the market needs. So take a little while and do some research and put, like I said, a graphic or some short sentences about your market, how big it is, how many people, how many views, whatever your way of gauging it is out there, and put that into your business executive summary. All right, the next thing that you should probably have on your executive summary, at least somewhere, and again, these don't necessarily need to be in this order. It is a good way to read through this summary, but if you like a different visual presentation, that's fine. But the next thing I want to talk about is your funding needed. If you don't need funding, you can skip this, of course, but most companies and most business plans that I help work on, they're seeking some kind of investment, whether that be from banking, private lenders, or some kind of venturous deal. They're looking for some kind of funding, and you want to show that up front. Anyone that you're going to for money wants to know how much money you're looking for. Put it right out there. Don't be ashamed of your number. Don't cringe at that number. Say, I'm looking for $2 million to start up operations for this. And I would not include what you're willing to give at this point. That can be a negotiable item. So just put your amount needed up front. Put it out there. Like I said, don't be afraid of it. Don't be ashamed of it. Be bold about what you're asking for, because you want to be bold in your business about what you're intending to do. Another nice thing to have in the executive summary has to do with your sales and marketing activity. You should have a small section, not a lot, but a small section that just says, this is how we intend to address our audience. You understand your market. You've already shown what the market is out there, your problem and your solution. Take a little bit, a couple sentences, a bullet point to list out what activities you intend to use to sell. If you're an online company, talk about your online sales channels. If you are intending to go out via social media, talk just about that briefly. You just want anyone reading this to understand that you've addressed how you're going to sell your products. If you're a retail store, say we'll be a retail store. We're selling fish shoes out of wherever, Tampa, Florida, and anyone can understand that that's what kind of company you want to be. Put a little bit there. You'll go more into that in your business plan, but here in the executive summary, at least high level, show how you intend to do that. Okay, so you have already asked for money. You've talked about everything leading up to what your company is and where you're going to be, how you're going to sell. You should show about your estimate, your pro forma, we call it in business school, of what you think you'll make when you go into business. You should have a financial projection that, at least for the first couple of years, shows your revenues, your expenses, and maybe some highlights if there's any major investments. That gives a good idea for anyone investing, that you understand what it's going to take expense-wise and what the potential gains would be from this business. Put it in graphic if you'd like. You want your summary to be pretty succinct, so you don't want a lot of words there, but show that there's going to be growth. And even if there's an initial negative number, that's okay, as long as you're showing that through investment and through hard work, you can show an upswing in your sales growth. Obviously, no one's going to invest in anyone that's not intending on making more money every year, but you want to show realistic numbers. And again, try using a graphic. Financial projections are very important for anyone that's looking to invest, regardless of how much you intend to make, whether it be a small number or a large number. Knowing what you expect out of your business is important for any investor. Now we're going to talk about another set of things that you should add, that's your milestones. How will you achieve success, and what are your goals going into the future? While you have a financial projection, you should also set milestones as far as customer reach, any kind of building milestones if you're going to be a retail space, sales numbers, any kind of goals that you may have that really show that you have a plan of attack and you have goals to make along the way. It could be Q1 through Q4 or year 1 through year 4, however you want to set those up, but show some milestones and set your goals and then live by them. This executive summary should be something that you can work off of and use as you go into this business world. Okay, I know that's a lot, and there is one more thing I think you should add for your executive summary. When you put this all together, it can still be just a 1, 2, maybe 3-page document. The last thing I think you should add is who's on your team. I say this last, but it really could be the first thing. Anytime I'm part of an investment team or any kind of judging team, I always look at who is on the team that is creating this business. What are their experience? So you want to show, put a picture up, put an idea of what the qualifications are of every single person on your team and how they can help this business be successful. You need to be pretty serious about this. You need to really look at what your strengths and weaknesses are. And if there's a need there, you should go find an advisor. You can put someone on as an advisor team, as part of your team that maybe doesn't work in the business, isn't looking for anything from the business, but they're there for you. For our fish shoes company, maybe we need someone that's in the shoe manufacturing industry. We are just a bunch of fishermen that like shoes and know that we don't get good shoes, but if we're going to have a business that makes them, we should have somebody in manufacturing. So we go and we get an advisor, and we want to list this advisor because anyone that's looking to support your business wants to know that somebody in your business understands the process of manufacturing. A good, strong team is surely the way to achieve victory, and a bad idea with a good team is always better than a good idea with a bad team. I stick by that, and I know most of the people I work with when we're in part of funding boards believe that as well. It takes both to be truly successful, but a strong team will help any product grow. So you need to look at how you can really make your team strong. So that's your executive summary. I hope that this helps you. I hope that this video is something you can use and you can work through. Please feel free to ask any questions. You can visit our website at ljconsulting.co, not com.co, and ask questions there, or you can check the links out on this YouTube video. I really enjoy doing this. I will continue to make these going forward. Please, if you like this content, like and follow, and we will make sure to keep you in the loop as we continue to help everyone out there that's looking to start something new grow.